Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream. I'm going to do your September the 27th Spiritual Principle a Day in a meditation. Let's go ahead and get into that screen. Hope you're doing well this morning. It's early here. It's 4:12 a.m. I decided to do something different today. I decided to get up and go to the gym after I record and be back to the house by 6. So let's go. September 27th, Vigilance and the Path of Recovery. This should be good. We can get stuck in patterns so quickly. Vigilance is necessary to keep old patterns from resurfacing. That comes from the Living Clean book, chapter 2, Connection to Ourselves. We used to get utterly stuck, didn't we? We were caught up in impulsive patterns that seemed impossible to interpret for any length of time. Our first real hope of breaking free from the grip of our disease came when we found NA. When we admitted our powerlessness over our addiction, the possibility of new, stable, productive patterns of behavior became a real possibility. It's a relief to be off the toxic path of our past. But staying on track with our recovery requires vigilance. It takes practice to break out of destructive patterns and develop new, healthier habits. The good news is that we can now see our disease coming and can usually head off old old behaviors before we're in deep trouble. Still, times of intense struggle or humdrum complacency bring thoughts of instant relief to mind. Rather than risk going back to our old ways, we sometimes find new distractions disguised as recovery. I quickly found new bad behaviors to give me the same rush, even ones that seemed helpful on the surface. One minute, I'm taking on a service commitment, or maybe two, and the next, I'm completely obsessed, ignoring my family and other responsibilities. The member continued, practicing vigilance is serious business. It reminds me that there's danger out there in my head. How do we stay vigilant? Sharing what's going on with us is crucial. We learn to be vulnerable and open to suggestions. No matter what step we're officially on, we can do a spot check inventory and talk about it with a friend or our sponsor. We can branch out in our approach to working a program, talk to more newcomers, end a commitment without re-upping on the same committee, or take on a new challenge, or hit our lit, work the traditions and guiding principles, or reflect on these entries every day. As with much of recovery, we don't practice vigilance alone. Often it's NA members we're close to who notice, before we do, that we are veering off into the wilderness. It's a fellow member's keen, protective eye and each other's wisdom that help us keep what we have and give us courage to walk down a different path. We create new patterns. Again, vigilance keeps me on guard, on track, and free. I will examine my choices, open up to another addict, and be open to suggestions that can keep old patterns from becoming new problems. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you, God. Grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. Vigilance in the path of recovery. So we're talking about how patterns can almost be addictive, right? We have that naturally. We have that obsession and compulsion, right? We have that in our character. It's natural for us to settle on something that we really like and stay with it over and over and over forever, not changing anything because it's satisfying. It's possible to have great patterns and be stuck on them. That's why I really enjoyed in this meditation where it says, maybe we can end a commitment without re-upping on the same committee. Maybe our service work or our approach to doing service work can actually change. It doesn't always have to be on a committee. Maybe for a year, we're always telling the newcomers 90 meetings in 90 days. Maybe for a year, I will focus on newcomers. Maybe for a year, 52 weeks, 1 or 2 meetings a week, I will focus on a newcomer in the meeting. It might have to be the same one, depends on how small your area is. But maybe I will just commit my mind to helping them get that committee of using out of their heads by providing them support, by providing them fellowship, coffee. It's not uncommon when you are not using and coming into the program, you need rides to get to meetings sometimes. Yeah, we walk to get our drugs, but what's wrong with offering a newcomer? Hey, I'm going to that Thursday night, 6 o'clock meeting in the evening. Would you like to meet me somewhere and we go together, or I could come by and get you? Or, sometimes they don't even have a home for you to pick them up at. How about I meet you at that corner on, Kalamazoo and Burdick and give you a lift to that meeting and I can drop you back off there, right? Would you like to go get coffee with me and the gang? We're about to leave the meeting and go get coffee at Denny's. I don't have any money. Don't even worry about it. I got your coffee. Before you know it, somebody else is picking up their tab for a plate of food, or you can share yours. There's different things that we can do in the form of service work that can break those old patterns and become new patterns that are just as helpful. The beautiful thing about being in recovery is that we don't always have to be working a step in order to actually do a spot inventory, right? We can check ourselves, talk to a friend or our sponsor, and make sure that we're not becoming humdrum and complacent. What do you think about this? I was thinking about doing such and such, and it thought occurred to me to give you a call and run it by you. What do you think? I had the most beautiful experience the other day. A lady in the fellowship, she just finished a particular step, and she was wondering how other people, got through the process of that step. She was struggling with it. And she gave me a call out of nowhere. And because I recognize this is a local number, this is not a scam only, this is a person not necessarily in my phone, but let me just answer. I answered the call, and lo and behold, it's someone in recovery working on a step. And just mighty stream. How did this step go for you? And you know me, I was like, I thought you never asked. Let me tell you my story. We were laughing and talking. just enjoying fellowshipping with each other. You can do the same. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I'm sure you will.